Targeted individuals, hi. This video is mainly for targeted individuals because it's a topic that you will be familiar with. But anybody else who wants to watch, go ahead, feel free. Today, I'm going to be talking about a topic concerning gaslighting. Gaslighting and the concept of a directed conversation, as well as deniability. It's all about deniability. All right, so what does that mean? Again, this is mostly for targeted individuals. Targeting means you've been chosen by some group of people in power, sometimes governmental, sometimes corporations. And basically you get on the naughty list, their naughty list. What does that mean? For those of us with no money, you can't do much if you don't like somebody. You just got to not like them. When you have money, though, the plot thickens. You can harass them and or ruin their life. Okay, you can give them the deluxe package. I have every reason to believe I have been chosen for a targeting program. I won't get into the whole specifics of it. Doesn't matter when it started, a long time ago, in the womb probably. And it's kind of hard to explain, but maybe you don't know, but there's lots of experimentation that is done, covertly, illegally, under the radar, so to speak, to test things like weapons, research as far as neurological, mind control stuff, medications, this, that, and the other. Anything that's powerful needs to be tested out. And how is it tested? Well, a lot of times on the public and random people. So, not to get into that though, that's another video. What I want to talk about today specifically, when you've been targeted, even on a smaller scale, it doesn't have to be, you're officially deemed a targeted individual. You can be in school and be being targeted. You can be at work and be being targeted, or you can be, wherever, at church. This happens. It's a community thing and it's a human behavior. Okay. What I want to bring attention to is the portion of it, so you'll recognize it when you see it, and so that as a society, I would like to just make this term of one that we're familiar with, because I do believe the people that organize these programs and the bullies themselves count on us not knowing the terminology. So when you can say things, that kind of brings power to it, okay? So it's important to know, not that none of us are perfect, and we've all done things, and but how do you fix your behavior, if it's brought to your attention? Okay, so what are we talking about? Gaslighting, okay? Directed conversation. What does it mean? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. 3 people, and I'm not throwing up the whatever that is. I'm not doing that. At least not consciously. Anyways, I digress. So, but this is the number 3, okay? So 3, say there's 3 people. We'll give it an imaginary scenario, okay? The 2 people want to bully the 3rd person, okay? They don't want to get caught doing it. They don't want it to be too brazen, okay? Because watchful eyes, other people watching might feel bad for the bullied person and reach in to help and stop the situation. They don't want that. And they don't want to seem mean either, because as a society, we frown upon aggression, right? So, a bully that wants to bully is going to bully covertly. And sometimes some bullies are just out in the open with it. That's nice, refreshing. They don't hide it. They're just like, yeah, you're a piece of shit, okay. But some, in certain situations, they're going to hide it. And especially if they know you're going to be get scrappy back, they're going to say it. Anyways, here's how it goes. 3 people, 2 want to bully the 3rd one for whatever reason, and they want to do it covertly for whatever reason. They want deniability. They don't want to be called on their aggression, right? Their verbal abuse. So they do this. The 3rd person will be wearing, say, a black shirt. The other 2 aren't. They'll say something of this nature. Don't you just hate when people wear black shirts? Isn't that so stupid when people wear black shirts? That's the first person. Then the second person, who's also in on the bullying, yeah, I can't stand black shirts. Black shirts just really so stupid looking, and they're so, just can't stand that. They're ugly. They're bad. They're not popular. They're, hate it. Hated it. Right? Okay. Then the 3rd person, who's wearing the black shirt, who they want to bully. They want to tell that person, hey, it's you. They'd like to call them by their name and everything, but they're not. They're doing it covertly, right? Because all the third person has to realize is, hey, I'm the only one with the black shirt, and hey, those two don't have on a black shirt. Okay, whatever. Maybe it wasn't, right? Water under the bridge. Water off a duck's back. Okay, don't pay attention. They're not paying attention to you. Don't pay attention to them. Okay. Then the person maybe has on, I don't know, jean pants. Okay. Everybody wears jeans. That's why this is a good example. So then the two people trying to bully the third person will say something like this. I really hate jeans. Jeans are stupid. Jeans are ugly. Jeans are not popular. Jeans, I just can't stand them. I don't even want to look at jeans. Okay, the other two aren't wearing jeans. Again, the third person that they want to bully, whom they are actually speaking to, is wearing jeans. Then they start to think, well, hey, I'm wearing jeans. Okay, I'm trying not to focus. Maybe they're not talking about me. I don't really know them. I'm just trying to get along. Don't really feel any way about them, good or bad. They're just neutral, But they are bullying. They want that person to get it, right? So that is called, when you do something like that, a directed conversation. Okay, it's two people, two or more, having a conversation that's directed to the third person that they want to bully, the target. Okay, so they want the target to hear. It's not just a conversation that they're just having, like authentic conversation. It's directed at the targeted person to bully them, to shame them, to be aggressive towards them, to hurt them emotionally, to, they're being hurtful with their words, using them as, we all know how that goes. Your words can hurt. So that's what that is, a directed conversation. And that is popular in gaslighting. And gaslighting is when you're being abused emotionally, and the person basically denies it. Deniability, right? So call your names all day, basically to your face, but never say your name, actually. But then the person being bullied has to say, well, I'm the only one wearing a black shirt. I'm the only one wearing jeans. And they make it obvious. It's like a little game. Like how I'm talking about you, but I'm not talking about you. Talking about you, but not giving you a chance to defend yourself. Because you'd say, hey, you talking about me? I'm wearing jeans. I'm wearing a black shirt. What's the problem? Then they go, oh, no, not you. Oh, no, we're not talking about you. You said something about a black shirt. And it could be from A through Z. If whatever you have on, whatever the conversation is, it will be directed. So it's not an authentic conversation. It's not really these people having a conversation about something. It's these people having a conversation to insult and to be verbally aggressive towards the victim / targeted person. Okay, so again, that's bullying 101. That happens in life. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes it's done to us. When you're targeted individual, though, it's done on an unprecedented scale. It's just so much all day, Most of us, you say something, somebody hurts you or something, you say something, then you let it go, right? Or if they haven't apologized, and you keep on harping, right? Because, hey, you should have fucking apologized. Some people apologize and the other person still doesn't hear it. So then what are you going to do about that, right? But, in straight up bullying, don't think they're looking for an apology. Don't think anything you could say, nothing could appease them. They, for some reason, want to bring you down. And, if you do your research, usually bullying stems from jealousy or insecurity or whatever, And there's usually one ringleader that starts the whole thing and then gets everybody else into it, okay? So anyway, if that ever happens to you, just know the term for it. Again, directed conversation, meaning it's directed towards you, but not addressed directly towards you. So they don't want you to address it. They basically want you to talk about you like a dog to your face, in front of your face, but not ever say your name so that you can't defend yourself. And if you say something, they're just, oh, we're not talking about you. We're not talking about you. Well, I'm the only mofo that's wearing jeans and a black shirt, so obviously you are talking about me. Oh, no. And then, then it becomes a big thing. Right? then that's where the gaslighting, you said, no, you're not, but yes, you are. So then there's no room to fix the problem, right? Because they're not admitting to the behavior. So how can you address the behavior, right? Which, okay, if you're going to bully somebody and you've done it and then let it go. But then in this targeting program, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. There's no ending with it. That is the problem. Okay, you bullying to make a point, right? You're harping on something. You got a point to make. Is there a behavior you're trying to correct? Okay, it's easier if you just say it. That's always nice. Or what is it? What's the whole point of it? To destroy somebody? To hurt somebody? I know in targeting programs, they're very vicious. And I know there's a myriad of reasons they're ran, but we won't get into that. We don't have time. But you can imagine there's bullies. There's the scariest thing to me is a bully with money, because that means they have power, and that is very scary, because you can imagine a regular person, if you don't have that much power, you can deal with problems easier because you just deal with it. That person made me mad, I'm gonna tell them off and I'm gonna let it go. But when you have money, that changes the whole thing, because they can basically, money and power, they can really get a foothold in your life and reach out to your employers, to your community, and really make your life a hard one to live. And all the while, the saddest part about it, the hardest part, for those of you who are going through this, just try to pay attention. I know I'm kind of rambling, but with this whole gaslighting thing, the hardest part about it is that they never admit it. It's always denial. Obviously they're mad about something. It's something that the targeted person is doing, and I say doing because done, that doesn't really count. If somebody's done something and they've paid for it, then that's done. Done. Maybe you don't like that person, maybe you don't, not around them anymore, but it's done. But with bullying, it keeps keeps going, and the gaslighting keeps going, and it's like, where does it stop? Who knows, right? I mean, a lot of the greats were targeted individuals, right? Jesus himself, and lots of people. So, and it can go on for a lifetime. So I figure I learned some things being in this position, so I wanted to share with others, so you guys know, so you can know what to call things. Directed conversation. When somebody's talking about you to your face, but never saying your name, but it's about you. And then they can always use the deniability and say, of course, it's not about you, when it obviously is, but there's the gaslighting part of it. All right, that's it. I hope you understand. I hope that helps for those of you who are going through targeting and or bullying on any level. All right. That's it. Thank you guys for listening.